Jumbo.
You can see him in deliberations.
Welcome to Kilimanjaro Safari. Your expert safari guide will be taking you on a 2-week adventure through Africa's magnificent bush country. If you are traveling by wildlife seven, make a suggestion of many merchants located in the village of Harambe. However, you are unrequired to buy Kilimanjaro Safari.
That was, I guess, my fault.
And I am proud I hope that your visit will give a new appreciation and respect for Africa's magnificent living treasures.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Kilimanjaro Safari.
We'll see you back in 2 weeks.
Jumbo. We got a chick driver.
Ready for a 2-week safari?
No.
Yeah, that's the attitude we like. All right, well, Caraboonie, everyone. Welcome aboard. Please slide on over, take your seats, and seat the smaller children toward the inside of the rope for their own safety. If you have any loose articles such as hats or bags or glasses, it might be a really good idea to tuck those in the bags right in front of you and keep them from bouncing around when we hit some rough road. Trust me, everyone, we will be hitting some rough road out there, especially with me driving. Is that okay?
No.
Yeah, that's the attitude. I love it. I love you guys. No, I love them, but my bumper sticker is not.
Bumper sticker fell off because that's how much you love it.
That's right.
Driver, you are clear.
All right, Asante-san, I'll see you in 2 weeks. All right, the way we say hello here in Harambe is Jumbo. So Jumbo, guys.
Jumbo.
Awesome. My name is Christina. I'm going to be your game driver for the next 2 weeks on this 2-week photo safari. So feel free to take as many photos or videos as you would like. Don't worry, I'll be glad to turn around and give you guys a nice big smile. But if you want to take pictures of those animals too, I completely understand. So make sure to hold on to those cameras very tightly because the reserve does not allow us to stop and pick up anything or anyone that might have fallen out of the vehicle. Also keep those cameras handy at all times. The animals are free roaming, so is this truck. So a very good picture of an animal can very easily turn into a very good picture of a tree or a bush. And please remember to stay seated through the remainder of the 2-week safari. I do realize that's a long time to stay seated, but I have faith in you guys. I think you can do it. Well, I'm going to stop right here so we don't eat the dust of that truck in front of us. I'm going to take this time to tell you just a little bit about the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. It was established in 1971 to help protect local wildlife. Unfortunately, we still have a little bit of a problem with poachers, so we have our wardens patrolling all the time. Hopefully, we'll be in constant contact with my good friend Warden Wilson Mutua a little later on. But who's ready for a safari? Yeah! Woo! Twin day! That means let's go! All right, everyone. Oh, look, some of our wardens are talking to each other right there, but we are officially in the reserve now, so keep an eye out for those animals who might be in the bushes or under trees, or just sometimes a little hard to spot. I see one. Oh, look, already right over here on the left-hand side. It's a reddish-brown animal. It's a bongo. Bongo are
Bongo.
sometimes called the ghost of the forest, since they're so rarely seen. Over here on the right, you can see another shy animal. It's eating down over there. It's a dark brown animal with stripes. That's an okapi. Okapi are also very shy. They weren't even discovered by the Western world until 1901. Because of those stripes on the okapi's back end, if you get to see the okapi's back end, many people think they're relatives of the zebra, but they are in fact the only known relative of the giraffe. They're the only animal other than the giraffe that's known to have an 18-inch long tongue that's used to clean leaves off of branches. But you know what else they can do with that? Clean out their own ears. Ew. Whoa, what's an animal way across the watering hole over there? Rhino. Rhino, yeah, that's a black rhino. Their skin's about 1 inch thick. They can charge it up to 35 miles an hour. They have only one known predator, which kind of makes them seem indestructible, but unfortunately they're not. They've been hit very hard by poachers. There are less than 4,000 black rhino left in all of Africa. It's really not a lot. Look at that. That's a really good picture of a rhino right there, too. And up here on the right, you can see some of my favorite birds. Those are the saddle-billed stork, named for that yellow saddle-shaped marking on their bill. They're the tallest stork in Africa. They stand about 5 feet tall with a wingspan of about 9 feet, so those birds are pretty big.
Oof.
So are there any favorite animals that I should be on the lookout for while I'm out there?
Giraffe burger.
No. Elephants! Well, you know what? We have two really famous elephants here in the reserve. Their names are Big Red and Little Red, so hopefully I can get my good friend Wilson to tell us a little bit about them a little later. He named Little Red, so he just loves to tell that story. Anything else? Whoa, look at this. Now, believe me when I tell you that what you're seeing over here on the right-hand side is really rare. That's the Nile hippopotamus out of the water. They stay in the water for most of the day because if they were to come outside like that, those large bodies of theirs easily overheat. They work really hard to keep their bodies so nice and large, but eating about 150 pounds of vegetation every single night. And since they are so big, they don't really swim the way we think about it. They sink all the way down to the bottom of the riverbed and walk. Look, here's some more Nile hippo over here on this side. So does anybody know how long they can hold their breath for? 8 minutes. About 5 to 8 minutes, yeah. It's a pretty long time. And up in this nest right up here, you can see a bird. That's a white-breasted cormorant. They actually lack the natural oils that they're supposed to have in their feathers to dry off whenever they get wet. So if they get wet, they have to sit with their wings spread and drip dry in the sun for a while. And these two white birds with a grayish tint to them, those are pink-backed pelican. There's another one on this shoreline over here. They work together in teams to herd fish into shallow water, so it's a lot easier for the whole colony to eat. I'm gonna warn you, this bridge coming up is a little not up to its best shape, so we're just gonna have to take it slowly.
Crocs.
And wouldn't you know it, over a big bunch of crocs. Those are the Nile crocodile. Even though they might look like alligators, they can be 18 to 20 feet long, much larger than those American alligators. If you see them with their mouths open, I do see a few of them in there. They're not trying to show their teeth or show how scary they are or anything like that. They're cold-blooded. It's kind of a hot day outside, so that's just their way of regulating their body heat. But they do have an amazing jaw-crushing power of 1,200 pounds per square inch, so really glad we made it off that bridge. Okay, you wouldn't want to be caught on the wrong side of that. But you know what? I like you guys, and I decided that the moment you set foot on my truck, so I'm going to treat you to one of my favorite views in the entire reserve. It's going to be right here around this corner, so get those cameras ready. But first, right up here is an ancient baobab tree. Sometimes also called the upside-down tree because, as you can see, it kind of looks like someone took a tree, turned it upside down, and left the roots sticking out. They only have leaves for about 3 or 4 months out of the year, so most of the time they will end up looking like that. But that view that I promised is right here over these rocks. Gives you a beautiful lookout over the savanna, which is part of the Serengeti grassland system of Africa. Zebra and wildebeest migrate through here every year, while antelope, lion, and elephant live here year-round. It's all part of that wild Africa we're working so hard to save here in the reserve.
Down there.
I see you.
Bush country. Drive carefully.
Head up.
I don't want to bump into my animals.
Okay.
You should begin to see a wide variety of grass-eating animals around you, such as Thompson's gazelle.
Miss Johnson, no one in Africa calls them Thompson's gazelle. They are Tommies. Tommies. Over.
Oh, that's right, Wilson. No one here calls them Thompson's gazelle, so we're going to be on the lookout for those Tommies just a little bit later. But you might get to see these big tall cones of earth. They're all around, as a matter of fact. Those are termite mounds. They're as hard as concrete, so elephants like to use tall ones as scratching posts until they've been worn down to look about like that lump of one that you'll see over there on the right in the middle. But even when they've been worn down to look like that, they don't even go to waste then, because the antelope like to use them as lookout posts to spot predators hiding in the tall grasses. Whoa, look at these right here. I love these animals, they're so cool. These are the Ankoli cattle. Look at those horns. Each one of those horns can be about 5 to 6 feet in length, 20 inches in circumference at the base, so they can get to be really long.